Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Fortress Comic News, episode 77. I am one of your hosts, Chris, with the triumphant return of Mike.
Triumphant is, wow. What an adjective to describe this. Yeah, it's, I was away for the last episode. Great episode. I haven't listened to it yet. Great episode, everybody.
So I know it was a good one.
I didn't know it got posted. I would have listened to it on the plane. I actually saw it today and got really excited for it.
Yeah, it was fun.
So there's a little something we got to share with everyone of how that encounter happened. We were actually approached. Fortress of Comic News, LLC, Incorporated, whatever, I don't know. Whatever.
One day.
Trademark. Was actually approached by the editing company or publishing company.
Publishing company, yep.
For her to be on the show, which is like, hold the phones, everyone. Like, we got approached to be on our show. What? You mean I wasn't like, Chris didn't have to go through the backdoor channels to get Robert Venditti on here? Like, oh man. It feels good. It feels good. I just want to take a second. We want to thank everybody for listening. I mean, man,
it was nice. Thought? It was nice not have to hunt someone down for once.
Hey, maybe you never know. I don't know. Next month we might have a queue of people like. Can you imagine like when you're telling, oh, sorry, we can't pencil you in till like August 5th. You know? Oh, that's gonna feel good, man. Wow. And then you're going to get so many guests, you're going to be like, okay, well, now I need to hire a secretary. And that's when we get an office. And then I quit my job, and you quit your job. I can see it now.
Let's start with getting the 1,000 subs on YouTube so we can monetize.
All right, start small. 1,000 subs on YouTube. If you're listening on iTunes, please open YouTube, subscribe. Okay, we'll get on with the show now. I'm excited. It's been a while. We got some news here. I don't really care about the news. I just wanted to talk to Chris for a little bit, but so
I've got some news.
Oh, well, yeah, Chris has some news. I should be interviewing Chris is what I should be saying. Chris has been working on a little project called Battle Monsters, and what I didn't know, I actually our buddy Steve, I was with him yesterday, and I was like, hey, did you hear Chris is doing this thing? And it's awesome. And he was like, oh, dude, he told me about that idea like 2 years ago. And I was like, what? I was like, he only told me like last month. I was like, what? How am I out of the loop? Anyways, I was a little hurt.
I feel like we talked about it on the show like at least a year ago.
Yeah, but I guess I didn't realize you had the idea for Battle Monsters for a while, right? It's been a long time.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I didn't know like it was such a passion project by you. Like, I guess, I don't know. It's cool. It's
one of those things where like it was like, this would be a cool idea. And I'm pretty sure I pitched it a bunch of times just to friends and whatnot.
Yeah.
But was always like,
notice how he said friends and he didn't pitch it to me until like the last minute.
I said friends, not co-hosts.
Oh God, it hurts.
And and I was like, but I'm not a writer, I can't do it, blah blah. And then we started doing the show, and we talked to people, and I was just like, man, I could probably do that. So I went down and I wrote it, and then I was like, man, this is gonna be expensive. I'll never get it done. But at least I wrote the script, right?
Yeah.
And then saved up some money and did some things, and here we are. I found somebody who does amazing work.
Yeah, the art's great so far that you've been sharing. Wow.
Yeah, and actually, all the people involved do amazing work, and they're very, very affordable. And, so yeah, it's coming together. We got 2 pages penciled and inked. Actually, no, 4 pages penciled and inked. He just sent me the last 2. He's up to page 8 on layouts, and I've already sent stuff out to the colorist. And yeah, so
dude, that's so awesome. Come on, man, this is great. Like,
I gotta figure out a way how to get this thing printed now because that's expensive.
Yeah, printing is, yeah. But so is that the news? You guys are that's where we are right now.
Yep, and I'm calling the publishing line Tropical Gold Comics.
I love it. It's awesome.
So if this works and I can do more. And
hey, if you need me to like read or edit or something, I want to put my name under like editorial.
Okay, there will be a special thanks to you. I can promise you that.
I had no contribution at all. You don't have to put my name on there. It's fine. I contribute nothing to the project, but I'm actually really excited for it. I can't wait for what you should do is when you should just do a Kickstarter to get it printed.
I'm looking into things. That's one of the ideas I have. And I should say that our friend who does all of the artwork for Forge Comic News.
Yep.
She is she did the logo for Tropical Gold, and she's doing the logo for Battle Monsters as well. So she's a part of it as well.
Desiree doing some awesome artwork.
Yes. So the only thing I'm looking for right now is someone to do a cover because I wanted a cool cover
for Battle Monsters.
Yes, for issue 1.
So you hear that? Anyone who's artistic and wants to do the cover for Chris.
Right now, I'm thinking about just offering it to the guy who's drawing the book. Does that make sense?
Yep. I personally think we could get Frank Quitely to do it, but
I mean, I sent out some emails to Frank Quitely, but he's too big shot for me.
Yeah, Mr. Big Shot doesn't want to draw Chris's book. Well, you know what? You just lost your slot on the show there, sir. And quite frankly, what has Frank Quitely done lately? Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Anyways, I know
I'm called Doomsday Clock.
Yeah, I'm joking though. I love your art, Frank Quitely. Don't be mad. Okay, so let's slide into the news. I don't have any way to segue into this. So we with the end of Invincible, we were expecting maybe an HBO show, some type of live action stuff, but apparently Amazon has ordered an 8-episode series of Invincible, but it's animated. I mean,
yeah,
I don't know.
That excited?
Yeah, like I know what's going to happen. People are going to watch it and be like, this is Dragon Ball Z. Like, I feel like it needs to be live action. I don't know. Some of those panels, I would just like, yeah, it would be cool. Okay, it's a cartoon, like an adult cartoon or something, but I can't see them doing this any other way than an anime, right?
Yeah, there's still like rumors of a movie coming out from Seth Rogen.
Oh, that would be sick.
But I don't know what's going on with that. But yeah, my only thing with this is like, it's not like doing a Spider-Man cartoon where you can kind of tell your own story.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're just going to retell the comic, so I'll check it out. Hopefully it's good. Maybe it'll intrigue me in a different way. I don't know, but I'm a little weirded about this. Weirded out, I should say.
Yeah.
The only way that it would really like get me excited is if it like picked up on one of those threads from the end of the series, like one of the kid Invincibles.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
But it's just going to be, Invincible issue 1 through 8.
I mean, why not? They already have a script, right?
And storyboards.
Yeah, and storyboards. I mean, they really just have to. It's just going to be a moving comic, is all it is. Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, I'm going to watch it. I complain about these things. Speaking of Seth Rogen writing TV shows, Preacher starts back up tonight. Well, this will be. Preacher has already started by the time we release the show, but don't forget, starts this week, everybody. Season 3.
Yeah, so we'll be talking about episode 1 next week.
I'm excited. It's one of those things that like it was a pleasant surprise because I don't have cable, so it was just like an alert that, hey, this is coming up, and I'm like, oh, I haven't seen any previews for it yet. I don't want to know anything. I'm just going to go in watching it.
Have you seen the ads on the back of DC Comics for it?
No, I haven't. I haven't picked up my comics in a few weeks, but I've been reading them online.
It has the dog from season 2, and it says, "In dog we trust."
Oh my god! And dog is like upside down.
It's basically like they took the word God and flipped it.
Yeah,
like in a very literal sense.
That is crazy, man. They're not pulling any punches with that show.
No, I'm really excited to have it back.
They put God in a gimp dog suit. What? When they went back and they're like, it was actually him, and I was like, oh god. But I'm sure they were too. They were like, oh, it is God. But yeah, I can't wait. That show it's probably my favorite show out right now for sure.
Yeah, same here.
Okay. Luke Cage started 2 days ago, Friday. Yeah,
Friday.
How many episodes have you watched?
I think like 5 or 6 episodes in.
Yeah, what do you think?
I really like it. It picks up from where the last season left. So if you like the last season, you'll enjoy this one. It technically picks up after Defenders because they do talk about that whole incident. But I really like it. It takes that whole like hero for hire theme and runs with it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of that like that mantra of, when you're on top and somebody's going to come along that's faster, stronger, better than you and kick you down and you have to get back up. And the music throughout it is amazing. I don't know where they find these people, but they have some really cool music throughout it. So I'm really enjoying it.
I've only watched the first 10 minutes, but just the tone set from the first 10, 15 minutes of it. Yeah, it's cool. I mean, he just doesn't give a shit now, which is kind of like what we were waiting for, right?
And the villain is a Jamaican gangster, so there's a lot of Jamaican
like
themes.
A voodoo guy, right?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
He's kind of bulletproof-ish, almost more Wolverine than Luke Cage, where he gets shot and it doesn't like penetrate him, but it still hurts him.
Yeah.
And then he uses like voodoo crap to heal himself. So, but it's very interesting.
Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely finish watching it. I just gotta catch up on it. Have you seen Jurassic World 2? Came out.
I did.
What'd you think?
I liked it. It's very much a summer popcorn movie. Like it's not going to be on my top 5 at the end of the year.
Yep.
But I did enjoy it, and I do recommend seeing it. And I'm actually really intrigued by the ending and seeing where they go with the sequel.
Oh,
they're definitely doing a sequel.
A threequel?
Yeah, you got to do the trilogy, man.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, you got to make all that money, right?
Yeah, but it's a lot. I mean, it's almost was it Jurassic Park 2 where they went to the island and had to capture a bunch of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically that. But then they bring the dinosaurs back to the mainland America.
Which is exactly how the second one went, I think.
Was it? I haven't seen it so long.
Yeah, one of them, I think it was the second one where they come back to the city.
Okay. So yeah, it takes a lot from that. I mean, it's nothing original. It's nothing groundbreaking, but it's a fun action movie. It takes a lot of the stuff from old Jurassic Park movies and kind of brings them back. The new dinosaur they create's really cool. So I mean, it's worth seeing. I don't know if I'd run out and see it in theaters, but it was fun.
Cool. Yeah, I'm going to get around to seeing it. When I was on the plane, I rewatched Justice League, Star Wars, The Last Jedi, watched that again. And the scene where they fight in the throne room was still as epic as ever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I really, I watched it again, and I keep seeing all this hate for Rose, and I don't mind her during the movie. They're their like mission in the movie. We talked about already. Their mission in the movie is kind of pointless and stuff, but I thought it was still cool to see like the environment, other planets and stuff. I mean, I've watched the movie like 9 times already, so of course I liked it. But then I watched Lady Bird because just to round out all the Oscar movies I watched, because I've already done Shape of Water, Wonder Woman. There's the other ones. Blade Runner, and then Lady Bird. It was really good. It's definitely like an indie film. Just it's about a girl graduating high school in early 2000s, so it's kind of nostalgic at some points. Like you see the way people dress and stuff, you're like, oh wow. It makes you like go. It takes you back to like with the music and just how people interacted, like the cliques in high school and stuff. It's just kind of her relationship with her family and her parents as she's like going to college, or getting ready to leave for college. It's really good. It's a fantastic movie. It definitely deserves all the praise and awards that it got. So it's not your run of the mill movie that I'd normally watch with like punching and explosions. But
no superheroes. No
superheroes. I was mistaken. I thought Lady Bird was like, I thought she was a superhero, so I was like, yeah, this sounds like my type of movie. But it wasn't.
I thought it was about the life and times of Hank Hill's dog, Lady Bird.
Yeah, it's not that either.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, I stuck with it though. I thought it could have been the origin story. Like maybe she puts on a costume at the end of the movie, but no such luck.
And welcome back, everybody. Today we have a very special guest, Heath Leeson from Reckless Sidekick Productions, known for Heroes Envy and Mighty Mascots. Say hello, Keith.
Hey guys, thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for being on, dude.
So
after the technical difficulties we got through.
Yeah, right.
we try to know a little bit about comics, but we've been getting pretty good at the IT stuff. We could probably get careers in that. We've helped a lot of people out with like troubleshooting internet and device problems. It happens with every interview. It's not just you. Yeah,
right. I mean, you guys have a podcast. That's like part of the fun of it, right? Trying to.
Yeah, you should go to our first few episodes. It was kind of a nightmare. It didn't always start off with like Green Lantern backgrounds, man. They were rough. That's for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah, the original third host was a Red Dead Redemption poster in the background.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was it. Yep.
Which, to everyone listening and watching, if you were around for those days, I went to my parents' house. That poster is still up in that room.
It is. It's good to know even they don't want to take it down. They're committed to the continuity of keeping the poster in the room from the old school days.
Oh, now it's retro, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's glued to the wall. It's like those old school. If you remember those like squish poster things you'd use to like put them on the wall.
Oh yeah,
those, like squishy putty stuff. Yeah,
that's the only poster I used it on, and it just won't come off. So my dad just like, fuck it, it's there.
It's awesome.
That's great.
But enough about my old basement. Keith, you wrote some comics, so let's start with let's do real quick on Heroes Envy. I read the first issue.
Okay.
Where did that book come from, and what is it for all my listeners?
Okay, so let me see if I can do this. Give you guys the short version.
Yeah.
So before that was even a comic book, I was a co-creator on Hero Envy, the web series. So we had like, if you can see them if you're interested on YouTube. We did about almost 30 episodes with those characters, basically. And it was kind of like a geek sitcom. It was like predates like Big Bang Theory. Mm-hmm. Although I think, I'm not a big fan of Big Bang Theory, but like there's a lot of stuff in there that we had in our show,
Yeah.
But so we basically stopped doing that, but I still loved making comics. I always loved making comics and wanted to be a comic writer and artist growing up. So I was like, well, let me take these characters that we created and morph it into like a comic book series, kind of continue it, make it accessible to new people, you know, and then like kind of give people, like, if they love the comic, like, oh, hey, go online. There's like 30 more episodes with these characters that you can just watch, you know?
Huh.
So that was sort of the genesis of it. That was like my first real comic work. And as you were reading it, I'm sure you could tell like some of the references are very dated. You know, I think we were talking about the death of Captain America and stuff in that one.
Yeah.
That's going like circa 2008, I think, or something like that.
Yeah.
And I love the Watcher stand-in too.
Oh, yeah. You know, it's funny. We created it as like a knockoff, but then like he became like my favorite character to write. I'll send you guys a PDF. I started a second Hero Envy series that there's a book I'm doing on the side called Reckless Chronicles, which is like an anthology book. And it's got like 3 different stories in it. One of them is a continuation of Hero Envy, and it was like a knockoff of you know, like what was that story they did with Marvel with the Watcher, where the Watcher died?
Where he was assassinated by Nick Fury.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, that bullet. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they took his eye, basically. So
they stole his eye.
Original Sin.
Yeah, Original Sin.
Yeah. That was it. Yeah. That was one of the Marvel books I actually watched. So like, this is read. I was like, this is getting crazy.
Yeah, so ours is Unoriginal Sin, and it's the pointer gets his finger cut off, basically, and the guys are trying to help them find, you know, who did it, you know. So it's like the Hero Envy mystery, you know. So
that's awesome. That is awesome.
I'll send you guys the PDF of those so you can check it out.
Oh, for sure, I'm gonna love that. That's great.
But yeah, so I love those characters, and I just kind of, you know, wanted to keep them going, basically, you know.
Yeah, and the first issue was a lot of fun. But the book that really got you on my map, at least, was Mighty Mascots. You did a Kickstarter campaign for it, and now it's out and about. I've given my review on the show, but what's the pitch and the genesis of that one?
Okay, so that one came about in a weird way. It's basically if all the cereal mascots from Kellogg's teamed up with like the Kool-Aid Man and became like a superhero team, basically. And they fight like evil mascots, pretty much. So it's a kind of a weird take, but I kind of pitch it as like a Saturday morning cartoon gone wrong. You know, and I think that's part of like the charm of it too, is like it's kind of a nod back to like those Saturday morning cartoon days where you would pour yourself a sugary bowl of cereal and just watch cartoons for like 5 hours, you know?
Yeah.
It's kind of like tapping into that kind of like vibe, you know? Real fun book, but I also wanted it to be like kind of action packed too, you know? And the idea for it came in a weird place. My wife bought me this T-shirt from I don't know where you guys live, but like we have these stores around here. They're kind of like lower than Walmart, like Walmart's. You know?
Yeah.
She bought me this shirt, and it basically said Breakfast Club on it, and it had like Pop, Snap, Crackle, and Pop, and like Tony Tiger, and all these breakfast cereals, just guys hanging around a bowl of cereal.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I was brushing my teeth one day, and I was looking at the image, and I was like, that would make an awesome comic book, you know? And I started thinking about like what you could do with that, you know?
Yeah.
And I kind of went the superhero angle, you know?
That's cool.
Yeah, it's really fun, and it's kind of. I'll give you guys something that's happened recently too. Since I've done the Kickstarter, is Alterna Comics is picking it up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so next year, the entire miniseries is going to be coming out in, I think, May 2019 on their newsprint line. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Alterna at all. they're a small press company, but they're kind of in the news again because they brought back newsprint comics.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
yeah,
Yep.
yes, yep.
And they got the cover price down to like $1.50, which is insane. You know?
Yeah, it's awesome.
I know, and I love that. And the guy who runs Alterna is around here, and so I started talking to him about the book, and he loved the concept, and he was like, "Oh, this is great! You could do, you know, there's mascots for everything." So
Yeah, it's so cool.
yeah. So so we're doing it as a 3-issue miniseries, which is what I was going to do anyways.
Yep.
And then if he says if the sales are good, I can keep going. I can keep doing like a series of miniseries through them. So
That's so cool.
thanks. Yeah. And
That is awesome.
Yeah.
no, thanks.
Congrats,
Yeah,
man.
you guys got the exclusive. I haven't really talked about that yet anyway.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's so cool
Well,
to hear.
I'm really happy because it's like going to be my first real like published work out in comic stores and everything. So
That is awesome. And what you said about it too, and I read it today, the first issue, and it's like what you do at the end where you bring in those other characters from other booklets and magazines. It's like, oh man, this won't end. You could go anywhere with this. And you could bring characters in from any franchise or any type of medium. It's gonna be awesome.
Oh yeah, I mean I envision them fighting like the Jolly Green Giant at some point. You know,
Yeah.
think of all the fast food guys you could do.
Oh yeah, yes.
You know what I mean?
The Hamburglar, please.
Oh, God.
Please.
Grimace, what the heck would Grimace look like? You know?
Oh man, or like
Do you guys remember? Do you guys remember back when I'm not sure Keith how old you are, but Mike, when we were younger, and they had the group at Burger King, and it was like all the kids, and one was in a wheelchair, and his name was Wheels.
Yeah.
Oh,
Remember that?
remember that?
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
That's the first thing that came to my mind is fighting them.
Wheels, dude. I don't think it'd be acceptable today.
Oh
for
my
sure.
god! You have to look that up on the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
ridiculous. The things they got away with back then.
Yeah.
That must have been like that. Had to be like 80s, right? Like
No, we're talking mid to late 90s.
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like '90s. Yeah. I was like when Happy Meals, I think, hit their peak was like the '90s. I feel like
Yeah.
Yeah.
people were lining up to get the toys and stuff. Like that was the prime time for that stuff.
Oh yeah, and then they started having like the exclusive toys and all that.
You
fun
could even
stuff.
do you could do well, it's mascots, but I mean, you could do NFL teams and stuff like that.
Yep. Yeah, definitely.
Oh man.
The potential is crazy, you know.
Yeah.
I purposely left off the monster cereals. I think they'd be great villains.
Oh yeah, Count Chocula and all that stuff.
All these guys would be.
Yeah.
So there's definitely more potential with the characters. And
Oh, for sure.
when you guys see, I'm in the middle of issue 2 right now, and I'm kind of doing a little more exposition than I did in the first issue. So you kind of takes a step back, and you get to see the big villain behind everything.
Okay, cool.
So it kind of opens the universe a little more in the second part. You get to learn more about the Crest kids and all that stuff.
Yeah, the Crest
Do you
Kids.
guys remember them?
Yes.
At the
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. When they showed up, and I was like, oh boy.
those old, oh my god, watching those old Jack Kirby commercials were amazing. You know, I was like, these guys would be great as villains. You know?
Yeah, I know. I love how they showed up too, and they're like, "Oh, we're not here just to help you guys." And I'm like, "Oh boy."
Just a situation going sideways. You know?
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted. I wanted just a fun comic. I'm kind of like, I love a lot of the modern comics, but at the same time, one of the things I don't like seeing in comics nowadays is like the lack of action. Like, as great as I love some of these writers like Tom King and Scott and stuff, they love to like cut away from the action scenes, like just happening in the comic,
Yeah.
And imagine if they did that in Infinity War, the movie. Like, how bad would people be? It's like,
Yeah, they're just talking the whole time.
yeah, right? And it's like, or it picks up after the fight happened, and it's just, come on, I wanted to see that fight, you know?
Yeah, I get that for sure.
You know, it's like kind of, I guess, the way they just write comics now. You know, it's just, I grew up in the '80s, so like, you know, like every issue of Spider-Man or Batman you picked up, it was like, you know, a little bit of exposition, and then you would have the big fight with whatever villain that issue was.
Yeah,
kind of missed that, you know, that style of writing. And
yeah, it's definitely a lot more dialogue heavy for sure.
Yeah, and it's not a bad thing, I guess, but you know, you kind of want like a mix, I guess, you know, one, you know, but
for sure.
So with you said you're working on issue 2. With issue 2, does that mean, are you going back to Kickstarter for that, or is this all going to come through NV Comics now?
Well, I'm probably not going to do a Kickstarter for 2 because when I did the Kickstarter for 1, I was unemployed at the moment, so like I was trying to finish it up so I was basically putting it together to release it, but also as a pitch to Alterna Comics.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't want to stop my momentum, like why I was out of work. So I was like, let me do a Kickstarter. I'm not a big fan of Kickstarter just because it's a lot of work and it's a lot of calling in a ton of favors. And then, you know, when I lost my job, I was halfway through the first issue. So I just needed like $1,000 to kind of finish it up and, you know, pay the artist and colorist and just get it out there. So now that I'm working, I'm trying to pay it out of my pocket so that I don't have to go to Kickstarter.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it could happen. You never know. Like if I get buried or whatever, I might have to go back. But as of right now, I'm not planning on it.
So do you still plan on releasing it through your website then?
Actually, probably not, because I've signed a contract with them already, with Alterna. So now it's like they're going to reprint number 1 on their newsprint. So you guys actually got a unique copy. So if anything happens with it, it'll be kind of like, you know, there's only about, I think, less than 40 of those out there. So,
oh man.
So, I mean, hopefully, maybe it'll be collectible, you know? But,
nice.
Yeah. So, the way he wants to do it is next May would be the first issue reprinted again on the newsprint line. And then he wants to release it bi-monthly after that. So, it would be like, what was it, July, and then September.
Okay, cool.
So, I'm hoping to have all 3 issues in the can before the first one even comes out from them. So...
Awesome.
Yeah, so it's coming together.
So, if people want to find Heroes MV and if Mighty Mascots is out there right now available, where could they find these books?
Geez. Well, I'd say direct them to my website, recklesssidekick.com. There's a store section there.
Mm-hmm.
I have all my stuff on Comixology too. So you can get Hero NV, you can get the single issues, or you can get the collected edition. And that's a complete story. And there's a few other comics I have, like Kid Switch and the Reckless Chronicles. And the Reckless Chronicles is the anthology book I was telling you about. I have the first one there. There's a Mighty Mascots story in Reckless Chronicles. It was the original story I had started with Mighty Mascots, which is basically takes place about 6 months before the issue you guys read. It's how they were made, how the mascots came to be, and how their destinies kind of got tied with Manny Coleman, which I don't know if you guys picked up on that. He's supposed to be basically Gary Coleman from Different Strokes.
yeah, Different Strokes. I thought that was it. Yeah. Oh man, that was awesome. That was like that was a throwback for sure. Yeah.
I figured, like, why not have a child star as a scientist? You know, that kind of gets kind of like a wacky Doom Patrol kind of vibe to it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
That's cool.
There's a mini. I was planning on doing it as like an origin thing first, but when I first pitched it to Alterna Comics, they said, and he's kind of right. He goes, I want to see a comic with the mascots being the main characters versus this guy. And I can kind of see that because like if you look at like the Transformers movies as like something, it's like you don't want to see the humans. You want to see like the Transformers, and they never do. They always do the humans.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
They always do the human stuff. Yeah, exactly.
So like, I was kind of doing that. He kind of pointed it out, and I was like, okay, that makes sense. So when I did the new #1, I was like, all right, let's just get them out in the field fighting something, and then go back to the origin stuff later. So
yeah, cool.
That's awesome.
Very cool.
Well, yeah. Once again, the book's awesome. If you guys want to pick it up, recklesssidekick.com. And thanks for being on the show, man.
Yeah,
thanks,
guys. Well, let me say thank you for first picking up the book. I really appreciate that and helping me get it funded. And thanks again for having me on the show. It was a lot of fun.
Definitely.
Yeah, maybe we'll have you back on with the series for sure.
Yeah.
All right, comic news. We had some big changes up in the DC offices and executive staff.
Yes.
Some reorganization. And this is all amidst like all those Entertainment Weekly photos of Wonder Woman and Aquaman. Have you seen those photos?
Yes.
Okay, so I don't know what I want to talk about first. Let's talk about the photos first. The Aquaman photos look great, right?
Yep.
We get to see Night Owl being rebirthed as Orm, the Ocean Master. Patrick Wilson. I completely forgot when I saw these pictures. I completely forgot who was in the movie. Patrick Wilson's playing Orm, which is pretty sweet. And then we got to look the first look at Black Manta, and his helmet is like comic.
Perfect.
Yeah, perfect comic book. Yeah. Oh my god. It was like they took the panel from the comic, and I'm like, I'm so excited for James Wan's Aquaman. You have no idea. And then we get to see Mara with the character that Willem Dafoe is playing. And then I was like, I got even more excited. I'm like, oh my god, Willem Dafoe in a superhero movie. Like, yes. Because if anybody remembers, Willem Dafoe played the Green Goblin.
Yes.
And now he's coming back for DC.
And the most iconic action figure fight scene ever.
Oh my god, yeah.
If you rewatch that, like, I'm not shitting on that movie. I love that movie. But
yeah,
when it's Spider-Man and Green Goblin talking, it looks like two action figures just like meh, 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 meh.
It's almost as it's just as bad as like the effects in Jingle All the Way, where Arnold Schwarzenegger plays Turbo Man. Like, it reminds me of that. Like when he's flying with the turbo suit. Like, yeah, that's that suit was not made to move. It's just like a face plate that he's wearing. But the Sam Raimi Spider-Mans. I love those movies. I really do. We've never really talked about them on here, but yeah, so he's going to be an Aquaman. I'm not really sure what character he's playing. I don't know if they've said it, but I'm excited for him. Any movie he's in. And he's in so many movies, too. He's like one of those guys you don't realize. He's just in everything. Yeah. That man works. Like, that's all he does.
He's got to be a setup for, like, Aquaman 2's villain or something, because he's always the villain.
Oh, yeah. He has, like, the conniving smile, dude. Like, he's got the evil smile every time. I really like this character in John Wick. The first John Wick. Like, the older assassin who's kind of just retired, chilling in a bathrobe. I love that character. Anyways, yeah, so those pictures are cool. The Wonder Woman pictures, we finally got... the movie, we know, officially from the pictures, it's set in 1980s.
Yep.
Which is pretty sweet. You have the whole X-Men saga where they were set in the 80s in Days of Future Past, which is pretty cool. So now we're going to see DC's take on it, right? And it looks awesome. The two photos we got, one of Wonder Woman And the other one of spoilers, everybody, spoilers for Wonder Woman, so skip like 2 minutes ahead. Steve Trevor's back.
With a fanny pack.
Well, yeah, and like one of those like calculator watches. But what's up? How is he back? What?
That's a good question.
Yeah, it raises a lot of questions. Like of 2 photos to show, they're like, okay, you don't get anything from the Wonder Woman photo, and then boom, Steve Trevor's back. It's like, what?
I've heard like people speculate that's Martian Manhunter, but that's too good of an answer.
Yeah.
Like, well, not even. I don't even think that Marvel would have that answer. Like, that's just too good.
Yeah.
So there's got to be something. There's got to be like, I don't know, he's a descendant or something. But there's got to be an answer.
Great grandson. Someone said something about like if they really want to reboot the DC universe, like Wonder Woman uses magic or something, like finds Dr. Fate and goes back in time and saves Steve Trevor. And then, or like makes him invincible, and then like the rest of the movie is like the way the DC universe pans out, like rebooting it, complete Justice League and everything. And I was like, that would be the one way you could save the DC movie franchise, dude. I mean, I don't know, it's not going to happen, but
Wonder Woman Flashpoint.
Yes, like she's like, Dr. Fate, you need to help me, like with your mysticism, and he's like, yeah, no problem, blast, see ya, go to the past, and then it's like. Or, go to the past to make Steve Trevor invincible. So he blows up the plane and then he kind of just falls out of the sky. She catches him. They live happily ever after. Boom. Everybody wins. New Batman, new Superman. Well, not new Superman, just new Batman. Somehow they're going to figure out how to make a new Batman out of all that.
Well, and we're on a tangent off of the original point, but
yeah,
have you heard the rumor, too, that the Batman is going to be set now in the who's the guy that's playing the Joker that's not Jared Leto?
Oh, Joaquin Phoenix.
It's going to be set in that universe. So now they're just going to have a separate Batman universe alongside Justice League.
Dude, I don't know anymore. All I know is Steve Trevor's alive somehow, and like I think of all the stuff the fans are pissed about, that'll probably be the least.
I think they realized they fucked up on that because he should have lived, and that was like one of the best parts was their relationship. And I think they realized like, oh, we need to fix this.
They're like, Wonder Woman saved us. Like this is that's all we had. So so anyways, the pictures got released. Not that you could know anything from the pictures. That's just us talking about shit. I don't know. The pictures looked awesome. Either way, both the movies. So we got San Diego Comic-Con happening in a couple weeks here.
Yeah, end of next month.
Like a month. And they're rumored to be bringing a trailer or some type of footage of Wonder Woman, I think. And I'm sure we're getting a trailer for Aquaman. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I think James Wan said that that's what they're doing with that.
Dude, I'm so excited. I can't, I know DC's let me down, but this time is going to be different. Oh boy, here we go. Anyways, there's been big changes at DC. Geoff Johns he stepped down from his role as WB as like the overall coordinator of like the movies, I guess. He was basically the Kevin Feige of the DC universe.
Yeah. And the TV universe, I believe. Yeah, so now he's going back to as like a writer for movies and comics. Yeah, so he's still writing, or he still was a part of Wonder Woman. Yeah. And he's writing the Green Lantern Corps movie. So yeah, and that's like the news we got with it. Yep. He's just not directly in charge anymore. Which I think this is better because now he can like do more for these movies. I feel like, hopefully, this is better for multitude of reasons. I love Geoff Johns, but I think that a lot of fans put him on a pedestal that he doesn't deserve. And when it comes to movies and TV, like I know he has a background in movies, like he worked for people and everything, but he's a writer.
Yeah.
He's not like Kevin Feige is. He's a guy that can bring all the pieces together and map things and just make it work. But he depends on other people to do it within the system. I don't think that Geoff Johns is that guy. Yeah. And with this, we get more Geoff Johns written stuff, which I want.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I think Jim Lee is replacing him. So,
which just seems like
weird,
moving the problem from one person to another. Like,
yeah.
Like I don't mind. I would like for those two guys and the rest of the DC staff to like be consultants on this. Like they should be involved. You know, when they did Winter Soldier, Ed Brubaker was involved with the production.
Yeah.
So like, bring them in, listen to them, but don't give them final say.
Yeah.
Like bring in movie people to do this. That's what they're for. So hopefully I'm wrong, but yeah, it just seems like moving it from one person who shouldn't be in that position to another person who shouldn't be in that position. I want Jim Lee in charge of DC and drawing stuff. But that's just me. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm sure a lot of people are super excited about this news.
Yeah, I mean, he draws stuff. That's all he writes some stuff too, but I don't know. We'll see where it goes. Geoff Johns also announced the that new comic imprint, Killing Zone.
So yeah, that was a big part of this, him getting his own imprint to write comics.
Yeah, and then there's a couple books coming from him. Him and Fabok are working on that Three Jokers comics. So we'll finally figure out what the hell's going on there.
Finally.
And then we're finally getting a Shazam book from Geoff Johns. Finally.
Yeah, and I guess
taken 10 years.
I guess he also like sent out to retailers and a bunch of other people like, I want to know who the most obscure characters are in the DC universe, and that's who I want to use. So, Geoff Johns Codpiece miniseries. I'm just saying, and but B, like that's what Geoff Johns does. That's what he's good at.
Yeah,
like nobody. I understand they all had their fan bases and they existed for a reason, but
yeah,
that aside, nobody cared about Booster Gold before Geoff Johns, and Geoff Johns is the one that made Barry Allen Flash who he is today. Like, he takes these characters that live in obscurity and just aren't as hugely popular as your Batmans, your Supermans, and so on, and make them cool.
Yeah.
So him doing this with Killing Zone, like I hope after these couple books, and he's a guy that can do 3 or 4 books, but that he does like pick at least one character and just be like, let's just revamp this character and do it like he did with Booster Gold.
Yeah, I mean he made everybody care about Booster Gold with his series that he did. Yeah, so that's gonna be cool. Tom King and Clayman are making Heroes in Crisis event comic.
Called it.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Yeah,
it's involving Booster Gold, so.
Yeah, we had this talk. I predicted it was going to be Tom King on the book. It was going to center around Booster Gold. So now, if at San Diego Comic-Con he announces a Booster Gold series coming after Heroes in Crisis,
yeah,
I can predict the future. That's all I'm saying.
You can, and I can finally get my Booster Gold book.
But this is awesome. That's a great team up, and I'm excited to see them take on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to talk about this week's Batman book, and it's like, anyways, we'll get to that. But DC announced a 100-page exclusive giant comics coming to Walmart, which is awesome.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
I just did a video about this. I think this is huge.
Yeah,
you?
Yeah. I mean, first off, you're getting a huge major brand Walmart exclusivity to 100-page comic books. Like, I'm going to go to Walmart for it. I'm definitely going to Walmart to pick these up. And I hate Walmart.
Well, the thing is I said in the video, like, and this is no offense to any comic shop, like, we all obviously love our local comic shops, but the reality is Walmart's going to see more people in one day than most comic shops will see in probably months, if not a year.
Yeah.
And most likely, if they're doing this deal, there's going to be some sort of cardboard standout somewhere with the Justice League and Teen Titans on it, with these books sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then on top of that, like, they're bringing their A game. They're bringing top talent to this project. I mean, Jimmy Palmiotti's doing 2 of the books.
Yep.
Tom Dorenek's doing art for one of them. Andy Kubert's doing art for one of them. Tom King is writing one of them.
Which is crazy because, like, Andy Kuber hasn't done anything in a while, and like Tom King, man, come on, he has such a following. This is crazy.
And then just to cap it off, Brian Michael Bendis is doing the Batman book.
Yeah, like what?
This is huge.
It is huge. I know.
Like when I first saw this, I was like, oh, okay, it'll be like Joe Blow writing all of these and some
Joe Blow
artist,
a Plastic Man. I don't know, Killer Croc team up book or something.
Yeah, but they're bringing like A game talent to A-list heroes. It's Superman, Batman, Justice League of America, and Teen Titans.
Yeah, Teen Titans book. Anyways, I'm picking them up. I'm picking them up for sure.
And I think this is huge for comic shops too.
Yeah,
I want to say
people
that.
Are like, where can I go to get the rest of this stuff?
Yeah, because they're going to be like, oh, I like this. Like, I'm sure most of them will get it and never buy a comic again. I'm sure some of them will buy it and go to Comixology or Midtown.com or something like that.
Yeah.
But then some are going to be like, I like this, and they're going to start looking up their local comic shops, and I'm sure they're going to see new customers because of this.
I hope so. I know I'm going to pick it up. Donny Cates and Jerry Dugan are writing a new Thanos Legacy comic, which, I mean, come on. Sure, take my money.
Yeah.
I'm sure Marvel's like, the numbers are in, and holy shit, we should not have made this a miniseries.
Well, I feel like this is the plan all along, because they ended the Thanos book, and now they're going to Cosmic Ghost Rider, and that ends, they're doing this.
Yeah.
And it all ties into Infinity Wars. So, yes, I'm in. That's awesome. More Donny Cates.
Yeah, all the time. And now we're getting a Stranger Things comic, which frankly is kind of took kind of long to come out. I figured we would have had one out by now, but Jody Hauser and Stefano Martino are going to be writing the Stranger Things comic book, or writing a drawing.
I still haven't watched a single second of Stranger Things, so this.
Dude, you gotta watch it, man. Come on.
I keep wanting to, and other things pop up, but yeah, it's cool that it's coming out though.
You really need to watch it. Yeah, and IDW announces Star Trek versus Transformers, which is like, dude, this is the crossover we need.
Yeah. I put this in, I mean, I don't really care too much about either of these franchises. Like, they're both kind of franchises I enjoy to the side, but I just love IDW's doing all these amazing crossovers. And I want to see more of them because this sounds ridiculous.
Yeah, because I mean, like, you know, the Transformers come from space, and Star Trek's, you know, exploring all these galaxies. They're bound to land on a planet where Megatron's chilling. You know, like, it was bound to happen, dude. And
they've been done really well. I read the Transformers ROM crossover book. It's just a lot of fun.
Yeah, and did they say who's writing this one?
They did not.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's exciting either way. I remember when they did the Green Lantern Star Trek crossover. I actually picked that up. That was awesome. I really enjoyed that. All right. Let's talk about stuff we read.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Batman number 49? 49, I believe. I got it right here. Yep. 50 is the wedding, the next issue. But so we got to see the interaction in the fight with Catwoman and Joker. It was nuts. Basically, they both like mortally wound each other to where they both have to hold on to their wounds so they don't bleed out. And the whole issue is just them laying there talking to each other while Batman's like knocked out. The comic ends with Joker dying, and Batman wakes up and he's like, "Oh, good, you're fine." And then she turns around and she's like laughing hysterically like the Joker. So he must have poisoned the bullet or something crazy like that. So What I want to happen out of this is I don't want like I don't want. I can see the story happening where like, yeah, he's going to cure Catwoman. They're going to get married. Blah blah blah. I want this story to be like he can't cure Catwoman, and he can't kill her either. So she becomes the new Joker, and like just because of that fact, like he can never kill her. Wouldn't that be the ultimate villain? Like it's genius. Tom King is a genius if he does this. Is all I'm going to say.
Isn't there a rule in DC too where like Batman can't be happy?
Nobody can be happy. They talked about it before. Like nobody can be happy in the DC universe.
So I want to see him. Like I know it's kind of the cop out ending, but I would like to see the ending where they get married and see what that's like.
Yeah, but I also want to see Catwoman as Joker.
Yeah, the only reason I don't think that'll happen is because there's a Catwoman solo book right now.
Yeah, but like, get rid of that, you know? Do this instead. But yeah, it was a really good issue, and Clayman's art is just like, dude, that guy's on another level. And then I read Plastic Man #1 by Gail Simone. I believe that was last week, or 2 weeks ago. I'm sorry, that came out 2 weeks ago.
That was 2 weeks ago, yeah.
I read like everything together. That was actually pretty good. The classic Gail Simone writing where it's just the person with the internal monologue more than like actual dialogue with other characters. Usually that gets old for me. I know it did with All New Adam. I got kind of annoyed with the whole internal monologue thing. With Plastic Man, it's fine though. I think it works better with his character because he's just like thinking about goofy stuff all the time. I don't know. I feel like it works better with his character. So it's cool to see like his origin story and that he's like we already get to see him as the hero and stuff. That was pretty cool. I also caught up on Black Hammer, which is like seeing Black Hammer go to hell was pretty awesome. Where she like starts smashing demons and they're like, oh, okay, we'll let you go. You could go. Just get out. He's like, I'm going to start killing people till you let me out of here. And he's like, okay, just go. And then you're right. And then we get to see them show up at the basically the Sandman, right? They go to the dream world. That was pretty cool.
So you read Age of Doom #2? Yeah,
that's what it's called. Black Hammer Age of Doom is the new installment.
And you have not read Age of Doom #3?
No, when did that come out?
That came out this week.
Yeah, I only read Batman this week.
I'll jump in on that because it goes with it. But yeah, so they take that and she meets all the Sandman-esque heroes and then goes around. Like she finds this hotel that has doors to different dimensions. And they even run into like the Sweet Tooth dimension.
What?
Yeah, like it's really cool, and the ending sets it up to move the story forward from there. I feel like these 2 issues were just like Jeff Lemire going, I want to play with these characters, so I'm going to put her in hell, and then I'm going to put her in the Sandman universe, and then so yeah, it was really good though. Issue 3.
Yeah. And the hell almost reminded me of Hellboy, like that style, that red, that vibrant red, and like the jagged art. They were definitely paying homage, or home. Yeah, is that the word? Homage to Hellboy for sure. The book's a lot of fun. The art's great. Hit Girl came out this week. I haven't read that. I got a couple books I got to read still. Gideon Falls #4 by Jeff Lemire came out also. And yeah, Jeff Lemire had 2 books this week. He had Gideon Falls #4, and he had the new Hit Girl in Canada. So I got to read that for sure.
He's got 2 books next week too.
Yeah, this guy's doing work, man. Yeah, I'm surprised he had time to be on our show. But yeah, that's all I got. What did you read?
Okay, I got just 2 more. Justice League #2 came out this week.
Oh yeah, I got to read that too.
So it centers around first Lex Luthor and where he's at right now, and then also Jon Stewart and what's going on with him. And I don't want to spoil too much, but Sinestro gets involved and crazy shit happens. And we also learn that there's something going on with the Speed Force, and Barry's losing contact with it.
Oh,
that's never happened before, right?
Yeah, never.
And then Man of Steel #4. Are you reading Man of Steel?
No, I'm not. No.
So this whole issue is basically a fight between Superman and this new villain who destroyed Krypton and is trying to eradicate the universe of all Kryptonians. And it's pretty much a big fight where Superman's having this internal monologue of like, what is he doing? Why? We need to get him out of here, and realizing that this guy is stronger and smarter than he is, and how he's going to deal with that. And then they keep hinting to this backstory of why Lois and Superboy are no longer around. And it turns out that I talked about this with Travis back 4 weeks ago when he was on the show, how I really wanted Bendis to bring in Jor-El into the story. Well, it turns out that Jor-El came to Earth and took them. And that's why they're not around. So Green Lantern gets involved, and because basically this villain wins and knocks out Superman, and he wakes up to just destruction in Metropolis and isn't sure why he ran away. Well, he ran away because he went to the Fortress of Solitude to destroy that a little bit more. And they end on this whole back and forth of them talking about Jor-El and Krypton and what happened. And then it looks like Superman used his, whatever that was, a solar flare ability.
Oh, yeah, where you could, flash people.
Yeah, because the last panel is literally just a giant explosion.
Oh, jeez.
Dude, the book's been awesome. I really enjoy it, and I can't wait to see what he has in store for the Superman #1 Action 101 or 1001.
Yeah, I'm going to be getting that book. I forgot about the Man of Steel one, so I'm probably just going to try to pick that up in trade when it's all completed.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. So that's all I had. So, Mike, where can everybody find you on the internet?
I'm Fortress Ricker on the Twitter. That's me back in the States, so maybe I'll be tweeting some more too, hopefully.
Oh, yeah.
And where can they find you, Chris?
They can find me at Fortress Chris on Twitter. And, find the show at FCN_official on Twitter, FortressComicNews.com, YouTube.com/FortressComicNews, all those fun places. Remember, you're on YouTube. Like, subscribe, share, comment below, do all that stuff. Helps with the algorithm crap. And if you're listening on podcast service like iTunes, leave us a review. The more reviews, the higher up the rankings we get on iTunes, and then more people can listen, and then more people will contact me so I can do less work, and I like less work.
Yeah. Everybody wins.
But yeah, leave us a review because it does help get us out to more ears and grow the show. And yeah, that's all I got. So thanks for listening.
See you next week, guys.
Bye.